Hello, this is Bob Gray Sr. Welcome to Ministry Moments, a live broadcast every Friday at 3 o'clock Central Time. And so you should subscribe to it. You'll get this every week. And so today I want to talk to you about retiring mortgages early. I'm a proponent of using percentages as smoke alarms in a budget to let you know if you're over what you ought to be in order to be stable with your finances. For example, no more than 25% of your income should go to paying off a debt or mortgage. Utilities 10 to 15%, and so on. So I'm a big proponent of that. It's hard for a deacon with other deacons who has a electric bill or utility bills of $100 a month to understand $3,000 a month. But I found the best way to do it is use percentages and let them know that we're within the percentage. We're safe. We're okay. Utilities are not 20%. They're 12% or 10% or whatever it might be. Most of our utilities were about 8% because we were very careful about that. Now, taking that, me being a proponent of percentages, for example, the tithe is 10%. God said in Leviticus, he said, last chapter, he said, if you're late on tithe, add a fifth to it. And so God operated, look in the Bible, over a third, a fourth, a fifth. God used percentages. And so I think this is very important when you look at your financial statement, that helps you to understand you're okay, you're safe, you're within boundaries of operating and being physically responsible. Now, I want to talk to you today, though, about retiring mortgages early. When I came to Longview Baptist Temple, we had a bond program, and it was about $500,000 bond program. Not against bond programs. If you can pay for it, it's in your income, then you can pay for it, that's fine. But we had a split after I was here. I don't know why they didn't like me, but I went to pastor school in March of 1981 and came back, and they split while I was gone. Well, we had a sinking fund that we were supposed to put money in every week, and 6 months, another 6 months, maturity dates came along, and then we had to pay whoever had a bond that was due at that time plus interest. So I didn't have the money to put in a sinking fund. I didn't know what to do. So that's where I came up with the give it all idea. And so we did that in March, and we needed 20,000. We raised 20,000 plus some, and did it again in the fall. Well, finally, I just got the idea, let's just get this thing paid off, because it was an albatross around our neck. And so we did. We had a bond burning one night. We raised $200,000, if you can imagine that. It's hard to believe, but it's true. And we had a bond burning, had barrels out, we burned the bonds and so on. So we called all of those in and paid those off. Well, then I got the idea, why can't we do the same thing with the mortgage that we have? And so let me give you some thoughts about retiring mortgages early. Number one, make sure you have an open-ended mortgage. When you get ready to sign that document and you're fixing to sign on the dotted line, you make sure you and the banker have in writing an agreement that you can pay on that principal early. Some bankers don't like that. Some banks don't like it. I like it. It's good for the consumer. So you want to make sure that you have an open-ended mortgage, which means that you can pay ahead of time on the principal, and they won't charge you, they'll charge you interest on the principal that you borrowed, not what you paid off early. So just simply say to the banker, can I pay on this? If I want to pay it off early, can I pay it off early? Can I pay it every week on the principal? Ask them, get it cleared. Number two, amortize your mortgage. Now we said, what do you mean by that? There are programs that you can get. Let's say that you owe $500,000 and it's for 20 years. Well, you can get a program that'll show you each week the amount that goes to interest, the amount that goes to principal, and then you can see the reduction. Now, what you want to do is amortize your mortgage so that you can see, if it's 20 years, just exactly what happens each week. So you want the number of years, so you'll be able to see it, be able to see the interest that you pay on a weekly basis that goes towards it, or a monthly basis, or and that the amount of money that take off the principal. So you want to study that so you know what you're looking at is the situation that is reality to you right then. You owe 500,000. I'm making this up. You owe 500,000 for 20 years, and so you can see How much is interest and how much is principal? All right, you got this? So number one, you want to make sure that you have an open-ended mortgage. Number two, amortize your mortgage. Know the number of years, break it down by the month so that you know what interest is being charged and what principal is being reduced by. Number three, here's where you want to start. We had a stewardship month every January, and we had a banquet. So I introduced to the people the idea, what if every giving unit gave $1? That's all, just $1. And use that on your offering envelope to go to the debt retirement. Okay, then we would take that money at the end of each week, and the financial people would write a check. If it was $200, it was $200. If it was $500, it's $500. And we would take it to the bank and put it against the principal. I was allowed to because we had an agreement with the banker, open-ended mortgage. And so make sure you get that when you sign a mortgage. I wouldn't sign any other myself. Number two, amortize your mortgage. So you study it. Get the printout off the computer and just take a look at it month by month by month. And so you can realize what's happening and how much interest you're paying on that note. All right. Then number three, I would have a stewardship month, but I'd have a stewardship banquet to introduce this. I'd put it on an overhead screen where they could see if 200 people gave a dollar a week, this is how much savings there would be in interest paid and the reduction of the principal and how quicker this loan could be paid off. I would show them if you gave $1, if you gave $2, if you gave $5. Here are the three levels. This is to start with now. These are the three levels that you have that will be able to get this mortgage down. Now, let me say this. I'm not, you're gonna like this, are you? But it's hard for you to talk back to me, isn't it? I'm not for debt free. Okay. I believe in having some debt. And I believe that you can use that debt. For example, they'll loan you 80% of whatever your valuation is. Well, if you pay that down, you could build another building and get it back up to 80% where it's within your budget. No more than 25% of your budget for debt retirement. I'm just saying there's a way to use this to your advantage so you can keep growing and keep building the buildings you need if you're winning souls. Now, if you're not winning souls, you're not running buses. Ban the van. I can still hear Wally Beebe, ban the van. His in-laws were members of my church up north. Ban the van. And we're getting out of the bus ministry now. We're going to vans. We're going to let's reach adults. Listen, you can reach everybody at the same time. You could do that. Of course, you'd have to win souls yourself. But anyway, don't shut me off. I'm trying to help you. I really am. So you can estimate $1 per giving unit. You know how many giving units you have. $2 or $3 or $5, whatever you want to do, but show it on a screen. So at this banquet, they look up and they say, my goodness, look how much we can save in interest and principal. And look how quickly we can pay off this debt. Once they see it and they see that you've studied it and gone through it, our people responded. They did. And it was $1 a giving unit, but it was a beginning. It got up to where we took $2,000 a week off of the principal. Yeah. Well, no wonder we could build the buildings and do what we were doing. Now, we didn't shut the buses down to do it. You can make a museum piece out of that property you got there in those offices. If you just didn't run buses, you'd save yourself a lot of money, make yourself look real good. Property really sharp because we're after adults. We're not after the poor, the halt, the blind, the blind, the lame, so on. Don't get me started. Okay, retiring mortgages early. Number one, make sure you have an open-ended mortgage. Make that agreement before you don't sign on it until you do. Number two, amortize your mortgage. Let them so that you study it. You know the number of years, the interest. Oh, it's gonna eat you alive when you see it. And then how slowly the principal is paid down and how it reverses itself towards the end of the mortgage. But number three, estimate $1 per giving unit and show the people. Just put it on a screen. Say, look, if everybody just gave $1, this is how much it will help us. And then give them increments, $1. $5, $10, whatever you want to do. Number four, amortize the mortgage with different amounts of weekly giving to the principal. So again, we got up to $2,000 a week. We write a check, take it to the bank. It would be taken off of the principal. It saved us interest. It cut the rate, the number of years down. It cut the interest rate down, sometimes in half. All right. So number one, make sure you have an open-ended mortgage. Number two, amortize your mortgage. Know the number of years, the interest, and look at and study it. Put it in front of yourself and get absorbed with it. All right. Number three, estimate $1 per giving unit to start with, and do this at a banquet. We put an overhead screen, or you can do it on Wednesday night. It doesn't matter. But let them see if you gave $1 or $5 or $10, what a difference. The more that you give towards this, and let them know, look, we'll cut that check right out of it. We're not putting that anywhere except through the bank on the principal, which will save you interest and so on. Now, number four, amortize the mortgage with different amounts. Show them the $1, the $5, the $10, and so on. What will happen, how much it'll save in interest, and how the principal can be cut down, and the number of years of the mortgage be cut down. Number five, present the options at a stewardship banquet. I preferred that. You want to do it on a Wednesday night, that's fine. But give them the options. Say, look, this is what I've studied it. I know what the interest is. And let them know what the total interest is after 20 years. You could have built 3 buildings for the interest you paid that bank, but to let them see it. Let them see that you know what it is and that you're concerned about it. We used to have a debt-free board we put up, and we put names of families who gave a minimum amount. And we even gave out one time cards for platinum and gold and silver and so where they could go to the bookstore and get discounts on everything if they gave towards the debt retirement. There's a lot of ways that you could use it to encourage people to get on board to help you to retire this mortgage early. We'd have different classes, the class of 1995, the class of 1996, and we would do it every year to help us to be able to get into that principal area of that mortgage and get it reduced and save us interest on that principal by reducing the principal and then the number of years. All right, so number one, make sure you have an open-ended mortgage. I want to pay on the principal. That's all you got to know about that. Number two, amortize your mortgage, study it. So you know the number of years, and look at it month by month by month, and take an overall look at it and see how much it's costing you in interest. All right. Next, estimate $1 per giving unit to start with. Just say, look, if we had 100 people give $1, it's $100. Look at the difference it's going to make. All right. Next, amortize the mortgage with different amounts. Put on the screen what $1 per giving unit, 5 per giving unit, or 10 or 20 per giving unit would do. Somebody's going to take the challenge, and they're going to do it. They're going to do it. All right. Present the options at a stewardship banquet or Wednesday night, whichever you feel comfortable with. I like the idea of a banquet and people getting together having a good time. Next, get commitments. We had commitment cards up. Sign up right now. Sign up right now. You see the options. You see what we can do. Sign up. The more people that sign up, the quicker we can get that principal down. The quicker we get that principal down each week, the interest is going to be less. And then we cut that 20 years down to 10. If they're for the right amount. All right. Next, do this every year. You have to do it every year. You have to, because I hope you're having new people saved and baptized, people coming in. Do it every year. Those who are giving $1 will up it to 2. Those who are giving 5 may up it to 10. And let it be a part of your stewardship month. So we're going to prepay. We're going to retire this mortgage so that we can keep on building buildings. I mean, I wouldn't hide it from everybody. Look, you're not going to be out of debt with me as pastor. No, because I'm going to keep winning souls, and we're going to have to keep building buildings. And we're going to do more for God. But the best way to do it is to make sure that we can prepay on the principal, reduce it. That saves us interest and cuts down the number of years on the mortgage. And if you get it to where they'll loan you 80%, let's say, of your valuation, okay, then you get it down to 60. Well, you've got another 20% cushion there. You could go down and negotiate with the bank and build your other buildings that you need. Do what you've got to do. There's so much that could be done with this matter of finances. Furniture and fixtures, for example. We had over $500,000 worth of furniture and fixtures. I could borrow short-term money on furniture and fixtures and use my give it all to pay the thing off. It cost me nearly nothing interest-wise over a 6-month period. Buses, we had 40 plus we had 40 routes, but we had 45 buses at one time. Well, I had the titles because we didn't have it. I'd take those titles down to the bank and borrow short-term money on that and then pay it off with a give it all and pay very little interest. There's so much. Money has a lot. Finances, faculty, and facilities are 3 vetoes or stamp of approval. Finances, faculty, or facilities. Now, finances, very important. In fact, if I understand the Bible, God looks and sees how you handle the least to whether he can give you power over the most. I'm just saying to you, it's this thing of money is a vital part of every ministry. Well, I hope this ministry moments helped you. I hope you learned something. And God bless you. Send me $5. No, seed money. That's what we need. We need seed money. God bless you. Thank you for being a part of this broadcast. Join us again every Friday, 3 o'clock Central Time for Ministry Moments. God bless you.